Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about the meaningful relationships within the CPE Le Petit Abeille. The way we welcome parents to the childcare establishment is to begin greeting warmly with a smile and a positive tone. In addition, we will introduce ourselves. By then, we would ask about the parent's name and the child's name to facilitate the interaction by using an approachable body language. To explain the services offered at the CPE, it will be given a tour of the establishment and the room of their child will be part of. Also, we would use visual aids and a main guide for parents to explain them a daily routine, daily activities, special events, communication channels, policies, procedures, and safety and security measures. And also it will be explain the parent involvement within the facility, and finally we would invite parents to ask questions. On the other hand, parent involvement is crucial for the child's development and success because prejudice can create barriers by which if parents perceive prejudice, they may feel mistrust and be defensive. So when parents approach, we have to show respect and openness to build a positive relationship. To promote trust with the parents and the sharing of information concerning the personal experience of their child, we use some strategies. So now I'm going to mention some of them. The first strategy would be to establish an open communication in which parents be well informed about the child's progress, activities, and experiences, and always being objective when speaking. The second one would be to encourage parents to participate in their room's activities, special events or volunteer opportunities. And the last one would be to use inclusive language and avoiding making assumptions about the family and their backgrounds. In order to establish an approach that elicits parental agreement on educational interventions, it's important to understand the parental expectations, values, and goals. Also, the needs have to be mutual understanding that involves parental in the decision-making process. And as educators, we must listen carefully to the concerns expressed by parents so that we can work with them to reach agreement on educational interventions. Talking about establishing a supportive context with parents, we look for maintaining open channels of communication, such as emails, phone calls, or meetings, in which we can share the information about the child's progress, highlight achievements, and discuss challenges, avoiding being biased and being mindful of cultural differences by incorporating cultural sensitive approaches in the interactions. In addition, to maintain a professional ethic and understand professional boundaries in relationships with parents, it's essential not to disclose information that the parent provides us so that we can have a clear communication with the parents regarding the children's development and concerns, and maintain appropriate professional boundaries by avoiding involvement in personal relationships that may create conflicts. To develop a sense of listening, patience, availability, and self-control in the relationships with parents who don't want to participate or communicate is essential to show our interest and empathy towards the parents' situations, avoiding making assumptions about their level of involvement, and adapting an approach to be culturally sensitive, by which we will include different channels and platforms in which it can be accomplished the parents' needs. On the other hand, openness and tolerance of cultural and educational differences are essential to provide language support within the facility by offering multicultural resources to embrace cultural and linguistic diversity. In addition, when the diversity is encouraged in rooms and childcare centers and activities are organized, it reflects the real world, by which it can help children and parents to learn about different cultures and foster a sense of inclusion and respect. However, with respect to the request made to parents to participate in activities, it is important to consider certain limits and take into account the time and availability of parents because they may have busy schedules with work. Also, the activities must have respect based on the values of parents, so there must be detailed information as well as offer flexibility and alternatives so that they can participate.
To ensure effective cooperation with resource people, we need to implement strategies such as establish clear and open communication channels like holding regular meetings, transmitting information through emails or phone calls, maintain confidentiality of the information shared by resource people about the child. It means we would ensure that all discussion and documentation are handled with sensitivity and discretion, and demonstrate respect for the knowledge and perspective of resource people, recognizing their contribution to the care and development of the child. Some tools we can use to support our account of specific situations and events are anecdotal records, running records, formal evaluation, daily records, incident reports, and written communication with parents. When a colleague informs us that a child we will soon welcome has special needs, we should express understanding of the situation and gratitude to the colleague for sharing the information with us and listen to her or him carefully. We should also act with professionalism, asking for details about the child's behavior and needs to try to understand more about the situation and discuss strategies that may be useful to ensure the child's well-being. Lastly, we should tell her or him that we will keep the information confidential and that we will be willing to support the child in the best way possible. When communicating with parents about their child's development, we should provide them with information related to the developmental milestone the child has reached and any regression the child is experiencing. For example, we should mention how the child interacts with his peers, if he is able to resolve conflict, if his speech is clear, and how his motor skills are developing. Also talk to them about the child's health and eating and sleeping habits. To manage frustration and encourage parents to be more receptive to a situation in which they act disrespectfully, we need to keep calm and act with professionalism, listen to them carefully. Also, recognize and validate their frustration with empathy and offer an apology to them for not having communicated effectively. Then, we need to redirect the information using simple language and highlighting positive aspects of the child using clear examples. Lastly, we need to reassure them that our interest is the child's well-being and offer them support and resources to help them feel more secure and informed. To report to a mother about sensitive topics of her child without making her feel offended, we need to highlight the child's skills and progress. Then we should mention the topic to the mother with empathy and professionalism, recognizing and appreciating her work. We also need to use simple language and give her some suggestion on how we can support the child by working as a team. And lastly, offer her communication channels for possible concern. To ensure confidentiality with parents during the first meeting, we need to establish an environment where parents feel comfortable and heard. We also need to demonstrate respect and trust, encouraging open communication, focusing on their child, and explain to them that any information discussed or documentation related to the child's development will be confidential and with their explicit consent, and that we will use secure communication channels for exchanging information. To foster feelings of security, confidence, self-esteem, and a sense of belonging in children, we should create a warm environment by adopting some attitudes such as be empathetic, validate their interests and emotions, treat them with respect, praise them for their efforts and achievements, listen to them, allow them to make decisions and solve problems, establish clear limits and routines, promote collaboration, teamwork, and changes in the quality of relationship between the educator and children can be influenced by positive factors such as respect, trust, effective communication, and continuous support, and negative factors such as criticisms, lack of communication, trust, interest, and respect. So to reinforce the relationship with children, we need to actively listen to them, demonstrate empathy, offer praise and support when necessary, establish clear limited rules, encourage collaboration and problem solving, and be flexible. Thank you for this interview. We will be waiting for the results.